NHL players, they're back. They're actually representing their teams in the Olympics, as they should be. As fun as it was to see amateur play return for that one Olympics, now we got NHL rosters back, and it is going to be a lot of fun.
Z's lying, that wasn't fun at all.
I don't know who had fun.
Not Canada. It wasn't at the same level that it could be. Someone like Jesse could have made the roster wearing that hat.
Who's to say that I couldn't have made the roster, and who's to say that I didn't know German all-star Brooks Masick? Let's go. Winnipeg boy. Also a German boy.
But anyway, so there's really no way to segue out of that.
Yeah. I don't even know him, really. I know his brother a little.
Anyways, ahead of the 2022 Olympics, with all this excitement of NHL players returning, every single person here, except for myself, they have compiled a Team USA and Team Canada roster. Let's just get right into it. Let's start with you, Gilligan.
I'm going to come out firing here with a notable omission that I gave you guys a heads up about. I told you.
You're starting with an omission? Tell us who's on the team.
Well, no, I guess so. All right, so Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, Sidney Crosby, Brad Marchand, Jonathan Huberdeau, Ryan O'Reilly, Braden Point, Steven Stamkos, Sean Couturier, Mark Stone, Mark Scheifele, Matthew Barzal, Mitch Marner. Now, you guys have probably noticed that I haven't said one name left. And even though I think that he's going to make the team, and I get it, I did not pick Patrice Bergeron on my team. He's 36 now. He had a good year last year, obviously. I don't think he's necessarily the same player he was at the last Olympics that he was at.
This guy's looking to get the Anze Kopitar hate.
It was you last week. You're about to have a lot of hockey purists, which, again, rightfully so, because it's not like they were wrong with the Kopitar take, but you're about to get it.
Listen.
They were wrong.
No. Listen. If I'm sending a team to the Olympics, I want players who are fast, big, and skilled. All right? And for these reasons, I'm not trying to be a homer here, but if
you know where this is going.
If Pierre-Luc Dubois continues to play the way that he's been playing this season, he deserves to be on Team Canada. You guys can call me out. I'm going to get a lot. I'm going to get a lot of heat for this. He's big. He's skilled. He's one of the NHL's leading goal scorers. He's been on fire this year. Okay, I would want a guy like that out there.
He's had a great year. Question. He's had a good start. He'd have to maintain it though, because you're purely getting in on form if he gets in.
I have a lot to say here, but should I be holding off?
He should finish his, we'll hold off because we're going to get to everyone's full team, and then you can discuss.
Okay, defensemen. Alex Pietrangelo, Shea Theodore, Drew Doughty, Cale Makar, Dougie Hamilton, Aaron Ekblad, Darnell Nurse. I could end up changing this in the future, but I went with Thomas Chabot. Starting between the pipes, coming back, making for an excellent story. Carey Price, Jordan Binnington as the number 2 goaltender, Marc-Andre Fleury as the number 3 goaltender, and if Carey Price does not go to the Olympics, I'm having Binnington as the starter, and Carter Hart is coming in as the number 3 goalie.
All right, Luca, your team.
All right, forwards, Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, Sidney Crosby, Brad Marchand, Jonathan Huberdeau, Patrice Bergeron, Mark Stone, Ryan O'Reilly, Braden Point, Mitch Marner, Matt Barzal, Sean Couturier, Steven Stamkos, and my last one, Marcus Foligno.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a bit of a a weird one.
All right, your defenseman, Luca.
All right, defenseman. And by the way, these are in no particular order. I just have 8 of them. I just want to be clear for anyone. I'm not pairing these up or anything. So, Cale Makar, Alex Pietrangelo, Shea Theodore, Aaron Ekblad, Dougie Hamilton, Darnell Nurse, Thomas Chabot, and Adam Pelech. And then goalies, Tristan Jarry, Jordan Binnington, and Marc-Andre Fleury.
Okay, Corwin, your team.
Okay. McDavid, McKinnon, Huberdeau is the first line. Crosby, Bergeron, Marchand, second line. Point, Marner, O'Reilly, third line. Couturier, Stone, Mangiapane, fourth line. Extra forwards are Matt Barzal. And, this is the one that's going to be a little off the board, but Drake Batherson.
I had him he was in my running.
Okay, wait. Don't interrupt me.
He was in my running. I'm excited.
And then on D, you'll notice I really went heavy on the team pairings. Taves and Makar, Shea Theodore and Pietrangelo, even though I know they don't necessarily play together, but whatever, hopefully they will here. Mackenzie Weegar and Dougie Hamilton, and then the pair that's off is Pelech and Pollock.
Okay, and your goalies.
Carey Price, Marc-Andre Fleury, and Carter Hart, who's having a nice bounce-back season.
All right. Well, now that we've heard all of your teams, I mean, go at it, because I know you guys got some questions.
Dare you leave Patrice Bergeron off your team?
Why? How dare me? Look, the reason why I let Bergeron off the team is because I get that he's one of the best two-way forwards in the world, but you have other guys on my roster who can play that similar role. Okay, you have a guy like a Mark Stone. You have a guy like a Ryan O'Reilly. You have a guy like Sean Couturier who won the Selke 2 years ago. You don't need another one of those guys. You want big speed. You want speed. You want skill. If you're already sticking those players on the team, I think Pierre-Luc Dubois has a better chance of putting pucks in the net and creating offense than Patrice Bergeron. At the Olympics. Maybe I'm wrong, but the way that he's playing right now, he deserves it. It's rare to come across players like Pierre-Luc Dubois, and on a big ice surface as well, he could do very well.
I understand what you're saying, but at the same, you're acting like Patrice Bergeron's like Marcus Foligno out there. Like,
No.
and I'm not knocking your Marcus Foligno.
No, it's not even a knock on Foligno.
He's not like an offensive player. I would assume we're probably going to get to your pick, Luca, for that, where like I would assume you're kind of thinking you want players to fit into certain roles. And like Patrice Bergeron still puts up points and goals.
The perfection line is still doing very well this year.
My only thing, Jesse, I don't have a problem with you including Pierre-Luc Dubois. I agree with you that I think he could play his way onto the team. I just don't think Patrice Bergeron is the guy I would gas.
All right, well, that's your opinion.
Man.
Like, that's fine. Did you guys both leave Mark Scheifele off your rosters?
Yeah, I'd
To
rather.
put Mangiapane on the roster over Scheifele?
I don't
Wow.
know.
That to me is a little nuts. He's proven to be one of the best centers in the league, I would say. You'd rather have a guy like Batherson or Mangiapane in the lineup than Scheifele? Explain that.
It's tough because like I'm Batherson. Really is the one guy that I'm including like kind of off of form. And that I just think he's playing really well.
I love it.
You love everything Corwin says, Luca. You've never disagreed with a thing Corwin has said. Oh, I love it.
Honestly-
Guys, we might need therapy after this.
Batherson was the one guy I was really wrestling with for that last spot because, like Corin mentioned, he's playing so well right now. He's represented Canada at tournaments before. I know he's very young.
Haven't most of these guys represented Canada at tournaments before?
Yeah, they have. I think he's playing really, really well right now, and I'll give him a shot.
My whole thing is that like I don't think you can make a bad Canada team.
No.
Well, you can
Of
definitely
course not.
You can definitely craft a bad one by making bad selections, but you're right that there's a lot of depth if that's what you mean. Yeah.
I just mean if we go through our teams, I would guess 80% of our picks are the same, and there's a couple guys that you can swap in and out that, like, again, they could have a big impact on the tournament, but I don't know if that's really what's going to decide, like, whether or not Canada wins.
It's preference because those bottom lines probably aren't playing many minutes, and like you said, I want those bottom lines to be defensively responsible. So I went with more Sean Couturier type players at the bottom of my lineup. I wrestled with Nick Suzuki a lot as well for that reason.
Also, Corwin.
Lawyer mode. I love this.
No.
He's got receipts.
Well, I've got the lists in front of me here.
Drag him, Jesse.
Well, no. I'm just curious as to why you left Stamkos off the team. Because personally, I think Stamkos. I think he's been such a good story since his first injury. He's played really well, especially with Kucherov out of the lineup. He's been unreal this year.
As a newly found Sabres fan, by the way, though, his elbow to the face of Cousins could do without that. Just saying.
And as an Avs fan, injuring Sam Girard for a bit there and not even getting a finer hearing.
All personal
He's on my
feelings
team,
towards him
okay?
aside.
Relax. He's on my team.
I think Stamkos has earned his spot on this team.
I think he has too, but if you're going by roles, does Stamkos
Like, does Stamkos
where does
even
he play?
Does he even get on the power play on this team?
Probably not.
That's a lot of his value, right? Is like
Yeah.
that's where it's coming from. And if he's not going to play
He's on
there,
one of the units for sure.
yeah, like he absolutely.
Maybe the first unit.
You think Stamkos plays
He
first
could be.
unit there?
He could be.
How do you not have McDavid
And McKinnon.
Crosby?
McDavid, McKinnon, Crosby, Stamkos. I don't know. You see a guy like Makar with 4 forwards.
I understand there's different like roles that you can play within that. In my mind, like I would rather have Marchand, Crosby, McDavid, McKinnon, Point, and like any of those forwards, and Cale Makar.
I have him on my team. I have him more for just injury concerns. Like if someone gets hurt, that guy can score goals. So put him in the lineup. But how much is that second power play unit really playing?
So as I was mentioning earlier, the way that this is actually unfolded as far as the teams announcing their picks, it's kind of been staggered out in a weird way where people apparently have been told that they won't make the team, and then
Hilarious.
sounds rude as hell.
Yeah.
To be
funny.
honest.
Imagine you get the call from the GM of Team Canada.
This is Team Canada.
No roster has been announced. And
Yeah.
you're like,
Oh my God. What else could this mean?
not you.
Come on, give up, man.
Not you, pal.
I felt so bad for Sam
Nah,
Girard.
No, if you're
Not
Sam Girard,
you.
like, what else were you expecting? Hey, man,
I
yeah,
know,
you're
but
going to
that-
make it over all these incredible defensemen? Like, kick rock, Sam Girard.
He's good.
Anyways, getting back to what I was saying there, Pietrangelo, he's one of the guys who found out he's going to be on that team. And all of you guys had him on that team. I'm not sure if that's a result of knowing that he's going to make it already, or are you guys not concerned about his start or the Knights' start for that matter? Clearly, they're hella injured, but if you're going off of form, because that's going to be important for the Olympics, if you're playing well, would you guys actually have him on your roster?
I'm really scared that that the St. Louis guy is going to pick like every Blues player.
Where's Jordan Kyrou?
A part of me thinks that David Perron
That's
might
showtime.
squeak his way as one of the last forwards, which, whatever. Part of me thinks like Colton Parayko is somehow going to end up on this team too.
I would stick Pietrangelo on my team for sure.
Yeah.
Like he's just been so good over the past little while that
Yep.
I still would. I know he's off to a rough start.
This has just been a weird season for Vegas. And he'll go to play for Canada, and he will find his place on that team, and he will excel.
All right, let's move on to Team USA. Same thing. You guys have made a separate roster, each one of you. This time, let's start out with Corwin.
Just as we start, I included Jack Eichel. Okay, I'm going to rifle through my team here. Number 1, first name on the list, obvious, Austin Matthews.
Okay.
Kiss the badge. Kiss the badge.
Stop.
When was the last time you washed that sweater, buddy?
Sleeps in it like JT in his blanket.
We posted a post for Halloween. It's just like nightmare photos for every fan base, and for the Islanders, it was like
somebody put the-
Tavares in the Leaf stuff. I'm like, nah,
They
like,
don't
that
care
is
about that
not a
anymore.
nightmare. That's like the bet. No offense, but like I'm sure Islanders are pretty damn happy with the way that things turned out after Tavares went to the
They've
Leafs.
been just buzzing. Okay, so top line: Austin Matthews, Kyle Connor, Patrick Kane. Then Jack Eichel, Johnny Gaudreau, Alex DeBrincat. Third line: Larkin, Pavelski, Pacioretty. Fourth line: Hughes, Kachuk. Extra forwards are Jake Gunsel and JT Miller. Then defensemen: Flavin and Fox, Hughes, McAvoy, McDonough, Carlson, Jones, Petrie. Goalies: I'm going Hellebuck as the starter, Gibson as the backup, Thatcher Demko as the third guy.
Okay, all right. Luca, your team.
Jack Eichel, if he plays, Austin Matthews, Patrick Kane, Pacioretty, Kyle Connor, Alex DeBrincat, Johnny Gaudreau, JT Miller, Matthew Kachuk, Kreider, Jake Gensel, Dylan Larkin. If Eichel doesn't play, I'm putting Troy Terry. And then defensemen, Adam Fox, Ryan McDonough, Jacob Slavin, McAvoy, Zach Werenski, John Carlson, Seth Jones, Quinn Hughes. Goalies, in no particular order, Jack Campbell, Connor Hellebuck, John Gibson.
All right, Jesse. Let's see your team.
All right, gotta go with Ozzie Matthews. Love that guy. Patrick Kane, Kyle Connor. Really love that guy. Johnny Gaudreau, Alex DeBrincat, Matthew Kachuk, Brady Kachuk, Jack Eichel, Jack Hughes, Chris Kreider, Dylan Larkin, Brock Besser, Jake Gensel, Max Pacioretty. My defensemen are Adam Fox, Seth Jones, Zach Werenski, John Carlson, Charlie McAvoy, Jacob Slavin, Quinn Hughes, and Ryan McDonough. And my goaltenders are Connor Hellebuck, John Gibson, and Jack Campbell.
All right, before you guys, slash at each other's teams, I feel like it has to be said, that's a damn deep Team USA.
Oh my
that is a
pretty good.
scary team to play.
It's their best team ever.
If
They're-
Eichel
they're too-
doesn't play, is it?
Tough.
It's still pretty good.
I think
It's
it-
still good.
Honestly, you know who I think it depends a lot on? Jack Hughes.
Yeah.
If he is like as nasty as it kind of looked like he was going to be at the start of the year and is able to play on this team, he could be a massive difference maker for them. If they can have that top 6 with Eichel, that's ideal. But if not, maybe you hope that Jack Hughes can step up. Either way.
How good
Unreal
has
team.
How good has Troy Terry been this year? Like I had such a tough time leaving him off my roster.
Same.
Very difficult. You know what though, Corn? I will say, first of all, I like all of the teams. All of our teams are pretty similar.
Yeah.
But I will say, I'm a little surprised you left Zach Werenski off the squad.
Who did you leave off instead? So you
Petrie. We
we
both
didn't
we
take
both
Petrie.
had the same
'Cause he
defensive
is
course.
definitely not a great year, but although not a lot of Canadians have.
Yeah, I mean Jeff Petrie's so good.
So is Werenski though, man.
I just think like Petrie's always been one of those guys that's just crazy underrated. I think he was a massive reason that the Habs were as good as they were last year in the playoffs. Solid, just all around defenseman option back there too. I could be talked into replacing Jones with Werenski, especially because like Jones just had a horrendous start to the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with it. It's some of those guys though. You just feel like he's going to be there. Again, you were talking about whether or not we were going to have Pietrangelo on the Canadian team, and it was like, well, they already chose him.
Yeah,
so it's
he's
like,
in. That's
yeah,
fine.
exactly. So
Yeah.
it's stuff like that, and like I almost feel that way about Seth Jones, where I'm like, they're
Yeah.
going to put him on the team.
Yeah.
I agree with Corwin, as I mostly
Yeah.
do.
Way
Me too.
I wasn't sure about Yuzi, but I knew that about
too.
Luca.
Come on. I don't always agree with Corwin. I feel like I probably disagree with him the most.
No, I love it.
So our teams are all pretty similar, though. You guys had Brady Tkachuk, and I didn't have him.
Like the best way, that's shocking. I can't believe you did not have Brady Tkachuk. That's crazy to me.
You know what, though?
Yeah.
He did have another player, big power forward who can put pucks in the net. Chris Kreider, I think, could really excel
he's
at
had
the
a great
Olympics.
start.
Who
to
I
the season.
left off.
You left him off.
He's had a great start.
This
for
tournament
Rangers.
could be made for Chris Kreider. Big, fast guy.
Speedy.
Just scores. Going to be playing with some unreal. Obviously, it's ridiculous to say going to be playing with unreal talent. Everyone's going to be playing with unreal talent. But
Yeah.
I really
Not
think.
Belarus.
The one guy on my team that, like, in terms of form, like, just with how bad the Blackhawks have been, I could see potentially dropping DeBrincat.
Yeah, I thought the exact same thing, Corwin.
That can't
I don't think
happen.
there's any chance.
Man,
I thought
there's
I
no
thought the
chance.
same thing.
So
Yeah, but he's
bad.
played well.
No, he hasn't.
He's been okay.
Played fine.
He's been okay.
Not compared to his other seasons. Like, what has
He's
he
still done all right. But again, he's another player. And again, your metrics guy. I was just looking at him earlier today. Completely unrelated to that. He seems like he's doing all right.
You would drop
From
him?
what's expected of him. Again, he's not on a great team.
Guys, there are so many good American players, though.
I know,
like,
but who? Like, you're taking Troy Terry over him, or you're taking like
maybe.
Andrew Kopp or Blake Wheeler over him?
My
No.
thought was Chris Kreider over him.
But again, this the same way that you guys are saying that some guys are taking on form. You're also willing to forget the form in some cases. No, and in this, he's not doing badly. This
No,
is not
I
someone where you're
know.
like, whoa.
Like, he's a top 6 guy.
I know he's a great player, and I'm purely
I
saying...
love this fire from Luca, by the way. Let's go.
Wow, look at
That's
that.
directed at Corwin.
Yeah, precisely.
I'm surprised. Like, dropping him off the team is a whole different story.
They've just been so bad, and like he's been a part of that, and like he's a big part of why.
Man, you can't blame teams' failures on like a
You just
specific
did.
player.
You agreed
You
with me
also
before.
agree with him.
What?
That was Luca and I were
no,
saying you can't drop him.
no, I'm not saying that you dropped to bring it because the Blackhawks have been bad.
It's treason, then.
There are other players who could potentially fill that DeBrincat role.
I don't know
just
who
think
could
there,
fill
there,
specific
there,
skill
there
set,
are
though.
locks. There are locks on this team, and then there are some players who are like interchangeable. That like, yeah, DeBrincat could definitely play on this team, but if I took him out for another player, I don't think I'd be losing that much sleep over it.
I don't know
But for
about
the
that.
players-
How many guys are waiting in the wings that have scored 25 plus 3 times in 4 seasons in their first 4 seasons in the NHL?
And again, the big ice. You said it yourself. Like, you don't want that guy's speed on your team.
And skill.
Yeah.
He's so good.
He's really hey guys.
no,
guys,
we're not
I put
saying
him on
he's
the
not.
team.
No,
Like,
I know,
don't,
but
like,
just the fact that
Hey,
you
but you
might
wanted to take him
drop
off.
him.
The one time Luca goes against Corwin, I side with Corwin.
I'm shocked.
Cowards.
I'm happy you never make me feel alone.
Well, don't worry about it. You'll be alone tonight in the doghouse. In that cold doghouse.
Cold.
Takes 6 hours to film an hour and a half of stuff.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Daria. And Alex. And Elodie. And Amber.
I'm at my parents tonight. I'm not in the doghouse.
Howling at the moon